होश में आओ, होश में आओ।
मोदी सरकार होश में आओ,
होश में आओ, होश में
अरे
आओ।
बैंक कर्मियों से मत टकराओ,
मत टकराओ, मत
हमारी मांगे पूरी करो,
पूरी करो,
पूरी करो, हमारी मांगे पूरी करो,
पूरी करो, पूरी करो।
हम रोज एक एक दिन मर रहे हैं, उसे सही से
प्राइवेटाइजेशन नहीं चलेगा,
नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा,
प्राइवेटाइजेशन नहीं चलेगा,
नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा, बैंक कर्मचारियों पे अत्याचार नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा, नहीं चलेगा,
प्राइवेटाइजेशन धोखा है,
धोखा है, धोखा है,
धक्का मारो मौका है,
धोखा है, धोखा है,
धक्का मारो मौका है,
मौका है, मौका है,
भारत सरकार हाय हाय,
हाय 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 हाय,
भारत सरकार हाय हाय,
हाय 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 हाय,
भारत सरकार हाय हाय,
हाय 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 हाय,
भारत सरकार होश में आओ,
होश में आओ, होश में आओ,
भारत सरकार होश में आओ,
होश में आओ, होश में आओ,
होश में आके
बात करो, बात करो, बात करो,
बात तो तुमको करनी होगी,
करना होगी, करना होगी,
वरना करनी भरनी होगी,
भरना होगी, भरनी होगी,
लड़ेंगे लड़ेंगे
लड़ेंगे, जीतेंगे,
लड़ेंगे लड़ेंगे,
जीतेंगे, जीतेंगे,
कौन लड़ेगा, कौन लड़ेगा,
हम लड़ेंगे, हम लड़ेंगे,
कौन लड़ेगा, कौन लड़ेगा,
हम लड़ेंगे, हम लड़ेंगे,
हम लड़ेंगे, हम जीतेंगे,
हम जीतेंगे, हम जीतेंगे,
इनकलाब जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद, जिंदाबाद,
इनकलाब जिंदाबाद,
जिंदाबाद, जिंदाबाद,
नहीं
जिंदाबाद,
चलेगी,
नहीं चलेगी, नहीं चलेगी।
हिटलरशाही नहीं चलेगी।
And the managements of the private banks are adopting unfriendly, hostile, aggressive attitude towards our unions and our problems. On the other hand, we are also finding, along with their policy of privatizing the public sector banks, that is the main agenda of the government. Because the banks are dealing with the people's money, the government wants to hand over the public sector bank to private hands. In addition to that, we are finding today the private sector banks are also playing the role for the development of the country's economy. In the public sector banks, today we have total deposit of 140 lakh crores of paisa. 140 lakh crores of money is the deposit in the public sector banks. Similarly, in the private banks, we have 85 lakh crores of money. Huge money of the people is available in the private sector banks. Already we are seeing one by one private banks, because of the mismanagement, they are collapsing, and there are crisis after crisis in the private banks. Instead of resolving the crisis by nationalizing the bank, unfortunately and shamefully, the government is permitting the private sector banks to be sold to foreign capital. In the public sector bank, they want to allow foreign capital. In the private bank also, they are allowing foreign capital. We have the Lakshmi Vilas Bank in Tamil Nadu. That bank has now become Singapore Bank. We have a small bank in Kerala, Catholic Syrian Bank. That bank owner is now from Canada, Fairfax. Like that, one by one, today we are finding that the government is permitting more and more foreign capital. Yes Bank is a new generation private bank. The bank was totally mismanaged by Rana Kapoor. The bank should have been met with the public sector bank or nationalized. But now we are finding the government has allowed SMBC Bank from Japan to invest capital, and today SMBC Bank is a major shareholder in Yes Bank. Similarly, last month we have seen in Ratnakar Bank in Maharashtra, वो भी छोटा बैंक है, but the small bank today we are finding from Dubai, National Bank of Dubai, They have invested 26,000 crore, huge money. And today they are the controlling shareholder of that Ratnakar Bank. Similarly, we are finding Federal Bank in Kerala, it's a very good private bank. Instead of mobilizing, if they want capital, they can mobilize within the country. But today we are finding 10% of the capital has been purchased by an investor from America. Similarly, the IDFC Bank from Abu Dhabi and the foreign America, more and more capital is coming. That means the huge money of the people, the saving deposit in the banks will be now controlled by foreign investors. For more than 200 years our people fought, and under the leadership of Mahatma Gandhi, father of the nation, we have driven away the British. But today we are finding foreign capital is being invited. Banking sector is a very sensitive sector because we are dealing with the people's money. But unfortunately the government is adopting the policy to foreignize our private bank. We are opposing that. That is why in the earlier 1960s, the AIB fought and achieved the nationalization of banks. And today we have taken up the demand to nationalize all the private banks in this country. There is no need for any separate private bank in the country because they are trying to sell it to foreign capital. So it is a very important demand. Today in this Dharna we are highlighting the demand to nationalize the private bank, and very shortly the AIB also will be deciding a countrywide agitation and struggle to press our demand to nationalize the private banks. Similarly, the private sector banks, our unions are facing problem, our employees are facing problem. Adequate recruitment is not taking place. Because of the struggle of the AIB and the United Forum, in public sector bank the government has agreed to recruit additional staff. But in private bank that is not happening. On the other hand, they are employing more and more cost to company contract employees in private banks. Because the contract employees will be exploited, and that is why this policy the private banks are adopting. We are demanding more and more permanent regular staff to be recruited in the private sector banks also. In Catholic Syrian Bank, many people are told already that for the past 10 years there is no wage revision. For the entire country, in public sector banks, in private banks, in state bank, in reserve bank, in foreign bank, the cooperative banks, in the regional rural banks, in NABARD, everywhere wage revision has been given. But only the management of Catholic Syrian Bank is refusing to extend wage revision to the employees. So it is no longer an issue only of the employees of Catholic Syrian Bank. It is a demand of the entire All India Bank Employees Association that Catholic Syrian Bank employees should be extended wage revision at par with the other bank employees in this country. Similarly, we are finding in Uttarakhand, we have a small bank, Nainital Bank. Today it is a bank, subsidiary bank of the Bank of Baroda. Now government wants to sell that bank to some corporate company, private and foreign. So we are demanding that Nainital Bank should be merged and taken over by the Bank of Baroda. Like that we have the demand in Federal Bank. Our trade union leaders are being victimized, terminated, dismissed from service for legitimate trade union activity. This cannot be accepted, this cannot be tolerated. The government has to interfere. The labor department has to interfere. And the management, we have to compel them that the victimization should be vacated and our legitimate trade union activity should be continued in Federal Bank also. Like that today we are finding in the private banks, particularly the new generation private banks, Lakhs of people are working at cost company. They have no union. They are not being permitted. And that is why AIBA we have decided to concentrate, to focus, to highlight the problems of the private sector banks. And that is why the dharna today. Even after the dharna, if the issues are not resolved, if there is no positive response from the government and the management, then in the private sector bank union we have already decided there will be all India strike in the private banks. But that will not be the end. I can warn the government that if the problems of the private sector banks are not resolved amicably, then AIBA will be compelled to give an all India strike in the entire banking industry in support of the private sector banks. And to draw the attention of the government and the management, today we have the dharna. All over the country our comrades have come. We thank you, we greet you. Today we find that government policy is also very fastly changing in favor of the employers, in favor of the managements, in favor of the capitalists. We have seen the labor codes, etc. That means the government wants to implement the policy of the World Bank, union-free environment. That is what the management and the government want. There should not be union because unions are fighting. And that is why in the labor code, the right to form union, the right to strike is being now diluted and weakened. On the one side, the employees have the right to lock out. The employees have the right to dismiss employee. The employees have the right to retrench the employees, lay off without any permission. Today, government permission is required. Labor department permission is required. But now all the permissions are not required. Any employer can retrench or lay off or lock out. So lockout is a strike by the management. So management is given the right to strike by locking out a factory. But the workers and the trade union, this is our hard-earned right. The right to strike is not given by charity by anybody or the government. It is a fundamental right of the trade union and employees and workers to go on strike. And that is why today all these dangerous attempts are there. Unity is very important. Trade union is much more important than ever in the past. So let us be united. The path is only struggle. The path is only fight. And that is why AIBA we embarked on this struggle today in the private sector bank. We once again greet you. We thank you. We are very happy. All our leaders have come. All our comrades have come. Today because the parliament, from lot of problems are going on, discussions are going on. Number of our MPs have agreed. From Congress Party, from NCP, from Trinamool Congress, from DMK, from RSP, from VCP, from CPI, CPIM, from RSP, many leaders have agreed to come. They said by 11:30, 12, after looking to the agenda and the business of the Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, they will come here. So kindly continue the demonstration, continue the Dharna program. Other central trade union leaders will come. From AIBOA, Comrade Sanjay Khan, the General Secretary has come. He will also greet us. I request your cooperation. And after the Dharna program, in a very short time, our All India Private Sector Bank Union will meet and give further program. Once again, greet you. Congratulations.